Hey everyone, it's Christina Politako here, and I thought I'd quickly share with you on how I use Google Slides and other bits and pieces as my visuals for students to see and learn throughout the lesson. So I have created a Google Slide document where I pretty much implement my bits and pieces that students will be learning throughout the lesson. So here's an example of the Year 1-2 students. So they come in and they look at the instructions on the interactive whiteboard, on the Apple TV. And then we move on to our learning intentions. So it's all there. Success criteria. Something I've included this term is I think and I succeed. So getting students to think a bit more about our focus. And of course, the driving question. This is the main question that we need to answer and break down throughout the session. Again, this is the critical thinking model that I have implemented just recently for my students. So it will take some time, but again, it's just going through the expectations and the time that they have, the environment they would be learning in, and the opportunities that they'll be given from our focus. And here's an example of our focus from our learning intention. So focusing on moving towards the ball, moving towards an object using your hands and eyes and feet, and also using your space effectively. So this is an example of Miss P. The letter A, obviously not using the space effectively, and letter B is Miss P using her space effectively. So the students have to then decide which one is which and which one they will follow. So then we move on to our challenges, and again, it's very visual for students to see what needs to be done. We have our teaching cues ready to go for students to follow. So this is on the screen, and the students can refer to this whenever they can and whenever they need to. And we move on to level 2, obviously, and we keep going and keep going and keep going. Stop and start when needed to. Do a bit of a freeze plays on reminding students the purpose of this and reminding them of the teaching cues. And obviously then we finish up with a bit of reflection. So I've created this slide for all my year levels, 5, 6, the preps, 3, 4s, and then week by week I just include more slides and then continue on with our learning and using the Apple TV, which has huge benefits for me as a teacher and also for my students, but also still use the whiteboard when needed. So I'll never throw out that whiteboard, but I thought I'll quickly show you and share with you on how I use this and how I present to my students to make discoveries in health and PE.